Hey there and welcome. Are you ready to give your brain a real workout? Today we're jumping into a super fun but pretty challenging IQ quiz. Let's see how you do.
You know, when you think of names like Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Marie Curie, Leonardo da Vinci, what's the one thing that connects them all? Well, yeah, they all had these absolutely brilliant minds. But what does that even mean? What is intelligence, really?
Okay, so let's break this down. An IQ, which stands for intelligence quotient, is basically a score that's trying to measure a very specific set of skills. We're talking about things like your logical reasoning, how you tackle brand new problems you've never seen before, and just how fast your brain can connect the dots. And this right here is maybe the most important point of all. An IQ test measures just one slice of the intelligence pie. There's emotional intelligence, how you connect with people. There's physical intelligence, like an athlete or a dancer has. And creativity. The list just goes on and on. So remember, what we're doing today is just a workout for one specific mental muscle.
So here's how this is going to work. We've got 15 questions lined up for you. For every single one you get right, you get 1 point. So you might want to grab a piece of paper or just, keep track in your head. Ready to jump in and play along?
All right, the challenge is officially on. 15 questions, 15 chances to rack up some points. Let's get this thing started.
First question's a numbers game. How many times does the digit 4 show up between 1 and 100? Go ahead and pause if you need a second to think it through. Got your answer? The correct one is B, 20. This is a classic trick question. It's so easy to count 4, 14, 24, and so on, but people almost always forget to count all the 4s in the 40s, like 40, 41, 42, 43, and of course 44, which has 2 of them.
Okay, question 2 is all about visuals. Take a good look at this pattern. Which of these pieces fits into that question mark spot? Take a moment. The right answer here is D. It's all about how the shapes in each row and column relate to each other.
Time to be a code breaker. If the word Earth becomes the number 31967, then what number would the word heart become? Feel free to pause and figure this one out. All right, let's crack it. Each letter is just assigned a number from that first word. So E is 3, A is 1, R is 9, T is 6, and H is 7. If you just rearrange those to spell heart, you get beep, 71963.
Okay, what's the next number in the sequence? You might actually recognize this one. It's pretty famous. Take a second. If you look closely, you'll see that each number is just the sum of the 2 numbers that came before it. So you take the last 2, 8 plus 13, and that gives you 21. The answer is B.
Now, for a real test of your perception, how many triangles can you possibly find in this image? You've got to count really carefully because it is so easy to miss some. Go ahead and pause. Did you get them all? The grand total is B, 13. These overlapping shape puzzles are always way trickier than they look.
All right, let's switch gears. Which one of these words just doesn't belong? We've got excitement, happiness, nervousness, and hope. What's the connection and which one breaks it? The odd one out here is C, nervousness. And why? Well, it's the only negative emotion in a list of pretty positive feelings.
Okay, take a look at these squares. There's a hidden rule that connects the numbers inside them. What's that missing number? I'll give you a hint. Try adding them up. Pause here. You got it? In every other square, all the numbers add up to exactly 28, which means the missing number has to be A, 7.
Let's tackle another sequence. Which of these shapes comes next? You got to pay close attention to the way it's moving. Pause if you need to trace it out. So the shapes are moving clockwise, right? But the jump gets bigger each time. First it moves 2 spots, then 3. That means the next jump has to be 4 spots, which lands us right on answer A.
Oh, this one is a real head-scratcher. What letter comes next in this pattern? O, T, T, F, F, S, S, E. This one's not a math pattern. You got to think way outside the box. Ready for that aha moment? These are the first letters of the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after 8, which starts with E, comes 9, which starts with N. The correct answer is A.
Whoa, this sequence looks totally random, but I promise there's a hidden logic to it. What number comes next? Here's a hint. There are actually 2 different patterns happening at the same time. Take a second. If you look at every other number starting with 31, the pattern goes down by 1. If you look at the other numbers starting with 28, the pattern goes up by 1. So, if we follow that first pattern, the next number has to be C, 26. Time for a quick little logic puzzle. We've got 3 people.
Sophia, Emily, and Grace. We know Sophia is the oldest and Emily is not the youngest. So, who is the youngest? Just use a little process of elimination. Well, if Sophia is the oldest, she's out, and if Emily isn't the youngest, she's out. That only leaves one person. C. Grace. And here's our next visual sequence. Which shape is next in line? There are two things changing at the same time here. Pause and see if you can spot them. Okay, first, each new shape adds one straight line. And second, the color switches back and forth. So, the last shape was green and had 4 lines, which means the next one has to be purple and have 5 lines. That makes our answer A.
A nice, straightforward math problem for you, but be careful. Don't forget the order of operations. What's the final result here? Take a sec to do the math. Remember, you have to do the multiplication before the addition. If you follow the rules, you get D, 15.
Okay, here's a 2-step math question for you. What is a quarter of 2/3 of 6,000? Go ahead and pause to work this one out. All right, let's do it in pieces. First, what's 2/3 of 6,000? That's 4,000. Okay, now what's a quarter of 4,000? That's 1,000. So our correct answer is B. And here we are, the final question. You made it. Take a close look at this last pattern. Which piece is the one that's going to complete this puzzle? Take one last pause. The correct answer is A. And with that, congratulations, you have finished the test.
Okay, pencils down. Time to take a moment and tally up all of your correct answers. Got your number? Good. Now, let's find out what that score actually means.
So find your score on this little chart. If you got somewhere between 0 and 7, hey, it just means you could use a bit more practice with these kinds of logic games. A score of 8 to 10 is really solid and something you can definitely improve with a few brain workouts. If you scored between 11 and 13, that shows you've got some seriously strong reasoning skills. And if you got a 14 or 15, wow, that is officially in the genius level category. No matter what you got, feel free to share your score down below.
So you've got your score, but before we wrap this up, let's just zoom out for a second and put all of this into a much bigger perspective.
So what's the big takeaway here? This test was a fantastic workout for your logical reasoning and your pattern recognition skills. But, as we can see here, it doesn't measure your creativity, your emotional intelligence, or your physical talents. Your score is just a snapshot of one specific ability on one particular day. It is not the final word on your overall intelligence or what you're capable of.
And really, that brings us to the most important question. This test was all about how you solve puzzles. But the real question is, with your own unique blend of all your different intelligences, what problems do you want to solve out there in the world? Thanks for joining me for this one. And as always, stay curious.